Hi, everyone. So, today's topic is about something that lots of spiritual practitioners might be afraid of, meaning pleasure. Why? Because sometimes we have this notion that pleasure seems to be uh, a possible deviant factor in our spiritual path because it can capture too much of our resources, of our attention, of our possibilities. It can stop us, distract us, and so on. But however, I think when we are afraid, we are not really afraid of pressure. We are afraid of desire and attachment. And those are really different. Pleasure can be just in the present without any attachment. Pleasure can happen, we can feel it, we can enjoy it without further problems. Well, actually, the different thing is not pleasure, is desire. Desire arises when I have one experience and I want to repeat it. I have a memory of pleasure, and then because of this, I want repetition. I want to come back to it. Or sometimes I witness other people getting pleasure with something, objects, situations, behavior, and I want what they seem to be enjoying. I desire it. I fantasize about it. I project myself in the future where I will have the same thing they are enjoying. So I have already a memory of what I witnessed, and what that I'm already caught in a game of projection in time, and in a way already have a desire for repetition. But generally speaking, when we talk about desire, it's connected with memory and it's connected with this search for repeating something. Actually, repeating pleasures, even neurologically speaking, can bring us quite some trouble because our neurons get sort of used to it. The receptors, the production of dopamine, namely, tends to go down with just repetition. So we need more, with more repetition, more intensity, more something, more substances. And as we want more and we need more to get the same pleasure, we desire it, we have a sort of a neuronal fatigue, we sort of get in trouble. Now, pleasure without desire, without being attached to memories, is something different. Sometimes it's just an indicator that something is flowing, something might be right. We might enjoy sex, we might enjoy a meal, we might enjoy a landscape, we might enjoy sports, walking around, going to a museum, listening to music without any trouble. Sometimes quite the opposite, might be healthy, might be nice, might sort of favor our development. The trouble is desire and attachment to situations that comes associated with memories. So to have pleasure without inconvenience, usually it's good to have no desire, just plain enjoyment in the present time. I used to tell people that to train this, one nice, easy practice is listening to a music that we enjoy, we like, but we repeat the audience of this music several times in a row. But each time, we do our best to stop our mind from running ahead of the music, knowing which will be the next sound, what will happen next in that music. Because then we are already attached to repetition. And actually, we are enjoying less of this music. Because if we listen to it with a beginner's mind, as some Buddhist people would say, we listen to the music as if we have no clue about which will be the next sound out of the loudspeakers, then what happens is that eventually you start noticing a lot more detail to the music. We listen to sounds we never listened to before. The music is not just new again, but it's, in a way, it's also even more enjoyable. And suddenly there is a different feel to it. Less attachment, actually, less memory to it, more present time enjoyment. So, actually, without desire, we might even increase pleasure, because in a way our nervous system stays fresher, our memory stays fresher, we pay attention deeply, we really enjoy. So staying the present, once again, is a key to pleasure without attachment, without desire, and without the inconvenience of it, and with deeper enjoyment, actually. Lots of people, they are afraid of desire because desire brings usually attachment and sometimes addiction and sometimes vice. When we talk about vices and addiction, usually we talk about attachment, but to define what a vice is, usually it's something, whatever it is, might be an object or a collection of objects, behavior, and so on, that starts grabbing too much of our resources, financial resources, uh, available time, social resources, emotional resources, and so on. So I can become addicted. I can get a vice with shoes or with stones or with sex or with music or even with running around. If any of this is bringing a disharmonious tone to my life, it's any of this is occupying too much space and resources, it becomes a vice, usually connected with desire, repetition, wishing for more of it, keeping it, grabbing, being grabbed by it. So we might avoid all that as well, and we might just learn to have a deep enjoyment of things, of life in the present time, deeply, without desire and attachment. That's the main idea for this day. And as usual, if you like this, share, comment, subscribe.